ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. Y'all better listen up. This sports talking tough. So if you got a cup, go on and raise it up. I'll raise one with you as we talk about the sports. It's raining stats and rumors. Let us give you the report. This is First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back. Another week in the books. Week 3 is officially done with. What a crazy week. All of our teams won except Bo's, which lost.
Yeah. Whew.
Which lost, and we'll start off with Bo's. If he gets in here, we know we can come back to it as well. But let's start off with that one, just because it's such a unique way to lose a football game that you mishandle the extra point after a touchdown, and then you go on to lose 41-40 because of that. Oh man, like Cole just said before we got on here, I couldn't, I won't be able to stand it. I'd be shooting myself in the foot. Like it just, and I guess another big question is
ranked?
that is a question too. Like how are they ranked?
How's that team ranked?
Both of their losses were close games against ranked teams. I have no idea. No clue.
I just feel like it's nuts. We're entering week 4 and you don't have a win yet and you're ranked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see how they're. My thing is, I don't see how they're ranked and Clemson's not. And obviously, Buddha, I'm sure you'd love to see Clemson ranked, right? But it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, you're 0-2. I mean, granted, it was 2 close games, so that's something.
And they're 2 ranked opponents, so that might be something too. Them being 2 ranked opponents, and it was 2 close games. That might be. I mean.
Yeah, I like Cole's thought. Clemson's losses are basically the same exact losses. Yeah. And Clemson just happens to have the win tied associated with them, right? Like, it's like Notre Dame gets credit for not playing a close game to a group of 5 team. And somehow it hurts Clemson that they did. The big problem I have is why Tulane's not ranked. They absolutely should be. They were ranked and then they just, they fell out for no reason.
Since Bo jumped in here, Bo, we started off talking about the Notre Dame loss, and how to lose because of a mishandled extra point is horrible. And then Buddha brought up the question of how they are ranked. Like he's in awe of it. Doesn't get it. You got any insight to it?
I'm shocked as well. That we're still in the top 25. The only thing I can really attest it to is that we played close-ish games against 2 top 20 teams, but I mean that's really the only thing I can attest it to, because I mean our plays looked fucking horrible, but I mean I think a lot of people maybe the people putting in the votes are kind of looking at our offense and they're like, okay, well, the offense is kind of hanging in there a little bit. I know I've bitched about Denbrock's play calling. I mean, you guys have seen it in the group chat plenty of times. As most of Twitterverse as well has seen people complaining about the play calling for Notre Dame. But I mean, aside from that, I mean, our defense is atrocious, and there's no realm as to why we should still be ranked. I mean, but I told my buddy yesterday, because he's a USC fan for whatever reason, I don't know, but he said Notre Dame shouldn't be ranked. I said, yes, but we lost against an NIU team last year that was well out of the top, I mean, at least 100 teams, and we still were ranked 18th. So, I mean, to lose by a point to an A&M team that was ranked 16th, I figured at worst, again, it would be like, bottom 2 teams that still somehow got in. Again, don't ask me how we're still 24th, because I do not think we should be ranked at all. But nonetheless, yeah, we're still somehow up there.
To me, them being ranked answers the question I had asked on the live on Friday of like, if everybody said like this is a must win for Notre Dame, if they lose, they don't make the playoffs. And I thought immediately, like, that's a dumb statement, because a 10-2 Notre Dame's gonna get in the playoff 100% of the time, right? And I don't know if they end up running the table here. USC's ranked, so I guess that's a win that means something. But like 10-2 Notre Dame's gonna get in the playoff. Like, I think the question is whether or not they can rattle off 10 wins in a row because they got problems.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I mean, they're kind of similar situation to Bama. It's like you put yourself in a hole so early. Obviously, it's 2 wins versus two losses versus 1 loss, right? Like you just put yourself against that wall so early that I mean, it's gonna be tough, man. And look, I mean, like you said, USC's ranked, but look at last year. Like Notre Dame drops to Northern Illinois out of nowhere. Like all it takes is one team to come in, just like balls to the wall, on fire, and just pull off a big upset. And it's like at that point, I think you're definitely an outside looking in. I think even at 10-2, Friday I said I think they'd definitely be in at 10-2. I think it all depends on who else is in the conversation, right? I mean, if they're 10-2 with 0 ranked wins and 2 ranked losses, then I think there's more of a thought process probably for the committee. I mean, and I don't even want to try to get into the mind of what I think they would do there because it's just gonna make me mad. But yeah, man, it's tough. You know, you lose two brutal games. I mean, just like close games, good games. One thing I noticed, I'm looking at the box score right now. I mean, CJ Carr threw for almost 300. That has to, that's at least one positive you take away from him is that his kid might be able to sling the rock. I mean, I don't know. Again, I didn't watch any of the game. I was watching LSU, but end of the day, just another very, very tough loss for the old Irish.
Yeah, it was one that I didn't see coming. Kind of like Bo said, their defense kind of hasn't really showed up, but to lose off of an extra point is fucking so disheartening. I'd be so pissed about that. But hey, let's continue on. We'll go on. We'll start with your team. Cole, since Bama rolled off a big win.
You don't want to save the best for last? Oh, you don't want to save the best for last? I mean, come on now. Come on now. Go ahead.
We'll go in the order that they play, like we always do.
Yeah.
Except we didn't do that with boasting. We went with Notre Dame first because it was fresh on our mind. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. I mean, Ty Simpson, how about it? I said it on the live. I still stand by to this day. I think Ty Simpson's our front runner for the Heisman.
I mean, look, I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people in the country would probably disagree. I mean, but I'm fine with it. Look, Bama, obviously everyone knows what happened in Florida State. ULM, they blasted them. This was kind of like a test with the answers, right? It's like everyone knows on paper Bama's better than Wisconsin, or should be at least. The way it played out, first drive, Bama goes for like 4th down on the 50, and ends up not getting it. And then the defense was phenomenal. Defense gave up 34 yards in the first half. I think like 130 yards for the whole game, and like 70 of that was on the last drive of the game, probably. But no, look, the drives after that first drive goes touchdown, 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 field goal, and then 2 3 and outs at the very end of the game when the backups are in. Ty Simpson was as good as he could be, right? Completely in rhythm. I don't think he had a bad throw really until probably like the third quarter. He had one that zipped by Isaiah Horton early on, but it was a catchable ball nonetheless. He finished he finished with 382 and 4 touchdowns, 24 of 29. 2 of those incompletions were just straight out drops. I mean, anybody who watched the game saw the one to Ryan Williams in the end zone, just literally hit him in the face mask, didn't catch it. And then Latia Brooks, true freshman, he had a pretty good day. He had 2 catches for 30 yards, but he had a big drop too. Look, Ty Simpson was in rhythm the whole game. The receivers were getting open. The run game was, if I had to pick one thing concerning, it was the run game. There was a lot of talk about Wisconsin's defensive front and how they're really good at stopping the run, and they stopped the run. I'll give them that. But eventually Ryan Grubb was just kind of like, all right, well, we'll just throw it every play. Sure. And it was working. Ryan Williams, a lot of talk about him. He had the concussion, obviously. Comes back, 165 yards receiving, just kind of pops off, right? 5 catches, 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Horton, another just guy from the transfer portal from Miami. Big day for him, 5 for 48 and a touchdown. Jeremy Bernard, another good day, 4 for 62 and a touchdown. And I mentioned Latia Brooks, 2 for 30. Look, at the end of the day, the defense, like I said, was flying around all game. didn't really let up at all until like the last drive of the game. Offense was great. O-line was pushing around when we needed to. I think we gave up 1 sack, which was kind of a coverage sack, but nonetheless, I mean, I'm happy with what I saw. I think Ty Simpson is everything I've been preaching he could be. I think his floor is obviously still there, right? But right now he's showing that the ceiling is just higher and higher every week. So look, we got a bye week, and then we get Georgia, and that's when we'll really find out more, obviously. But right now, look, I love the direction it's going. I love the attitude. One last thing I'll say is Bray Hubbard. Everybody saw the clip of him against Florida State jogging on that play. We talked about it on here. 2 interceptions, and I think like 2 or 3 tackles. The dude was flying around all game. He was against ULM too. He just didn't have any stats to really back it up. But I think this might be a situation where that clip of him might be the best thing that ever happened to him. Because clearly he's taking it seriously, and he's doing the right thing. You could say now, I guess. So that's pretty much what I have for it. I mean, what y'all got?
Yeah, I mean, everything I've watched, pretty much, I was watching the game same time as you. Me, you were talking back and forth about it. And I said it whatever after the second drop pass that I think it was the young freshman that hit him in the hands. I was like, man, he's just throwing darts that are just. I think he's throwing it too hard. Like by the time
Yeah,
the
just pure
receiver's ready to
missile.
catch it, it's like hitting him in the helmet and everything else. But he's having a hell of a season. Especially after that first loss, he's slinging that thing, and these big time receivers got to make these catches. Outside of that, I think the only thing that kind of stands out to me, but it stands out to me as a whole for college football right now, is no one really has an established run game for anyone. Anyone. The leading rusher in college right now is a kid from UTEP. I mean, not UTEP. What is it? UTSA. So University of Texas San Antonio is your leading rushers coming from them. Everyone else's run games has kind of just been sporadic. No one's really established one. So I think that stands out to me for the Alabama game, as well as the Texas game as well. But yeah, I thought they played lights out. Their defense looked unbelievable. And like I said, Ty Simpson's the Heisman front runner in my view. How do you feel about it, Buddha?
I mean, I don't disagree with anything he said. I think we're just going to learn throughout the season is that Florida State was probably really good. Like, I think that's probably the bigger takeaway is that Florida State was just really good, right? I don't think Alabama they might not be, what we thought they might have been entering the season, but like this is still a team that's going to be in the mix until the end, right? Like when this thing comes down to playoff time, they're still going to be in the mix in November, right? And everybody called them dead, all that. I didn't think that was the case in the moment. Like, it's a really good win against Wisconsin. It's a P4 win. It's Big Ten bodies. It's like Cole said. I mean, nobody would have picked Wisconsin unless you were a Wisconsin fan, right? But like, it's a really impressive win. They bounced back well. The offense is kind of rolling. Ryan Williams had himself a day, so I'll give him his flowers. Right? It's been a minute since he had a 100-yard game, and he had a hell of a day. He did the thing that like got him on highlight reels. Like he's electric in space with the ball. I don't know how great of a true receiver he is, but in space with the ball, he's electric, and he's impossible to tackle one-on-one. And he balled out and give him his flowers. He put himself back on the map as one of the best receivers in the country, where I thought he was starting to slip and that was starting to get questioned a little bit. So good for Ryan Williams.
Yeah, but Bo, before you go, one thing to note too is against Florida State, I told y'all Ryan played in the slot. ULM, he started in the slot, moved outside. I'm sorry, ULM he didn't play. Florida State, he started in the slot, moved outside for like a play, and that's when he got the concussion. I think he's much better outside. I think you're going to start seeing him more outside. He was outside this game a lot. I think he'll play some slot, but I think that's important to note is that, when you're in the slot, it's kind of harder to get those opportunities in space that we're talking about. But go ahead, Bo.
Yeah, no, I like Buddha just kind of touched on. I was just gonna really touch on how good of a game Ryan Williams had, and all the hype that Ty Simpson's had that we've been hearing from Cole the whole offseason. It's come to fruition. He is a very good college quarterback. So, kind of curious to see how that looks, coming in the next 2 weeks whenever Jam Miller maybe comes back with with the Georgia game possibly. And how that may affect the offense some, or it may make them an even, more formidable force that college football isn't ready for. So, because we've seen what some offenses do when they don't have a run game, shouting out Clemson. But Yeah, so I think Bama's definitely going to be a team come playoffs that everyone's going to be looking at. So, and they just have more weapons to add as they come back from injury. So,
I don't know what game we're going next, but I think we should touch on Tennessee, Georgia.
We can touch on it.
Right.
We can go there. We can touch them.
Kirby does it again. It's kind of like it's got a little bit of that thing with like Saban probably had it for 8 years, where every year it was like, well, he's lost his fastball, it's done, and you just can't count those guys out. He just figures out how to win games. I thought Heupel playing for the field goal was very odd. I don't even understand when they have the timeout and there's 8 seconds left, why they don't run a play real quick and just tell the quarterback to literally roll over and call the timeout. None of it made sense. I think Tennessee's really good, though. I think they got a mental block with Georgia. I thought you were looking at what I would consider right now is probably two of the best 3 or 4 teams in the conference played. I mean, that's 2 really good teams. Gunnar Stockton showed up, too. We had a lot of questions about Gunnar Stockton. Weathered the storm and a tough place to play, and I thought he played phenomenal. That's the game I watched at that window. I thought he played fantastic.
Yeah, I'll tell you somebody that impressed me is, and I haven't watched Tennessee at all this year until now. Joey Aguilar. Talk about just a crazy story, right? Former walk-on, if I remember correctly. Just kind of balling, dude. Look, he threw a few balls during that game that were just like moon rockets, just like coming straight down in the basket, though. And I'm like, hey, this kid can ball. No, look, that was a very game. That was a violent game, man. There was some hitting going on. That was like just pure, like knuckle to knuckle SEC football, and I loved every minute of it. Kirby just finds a way, dude. He's the best coach in college football right now. I don't think there's any way you could say he's not.
Yeah.
He finds a way. The players just dig in when they have to. And look, let's not forget this is a road win. This is in Knoxville, a place that a lot of people say is one of the top 5 hardest places to play in the country. So I mean, hats off to them. Hats off to Gunnar Stockton, because I am not a believer in Gunnar Stockton. I'm still not. I'm not going to be until he beats me, which he might. Who knows? But I think at the end of the day, the dude showed up when he had to and just kind of won the game. There's really no way around it. I mean, they just won.
Yeah. Aguilar finished with 371, 4 touchdowns. He did have 4. He did have 4 interceptions. I mean, 2 interceptions as well, but 371, 4 touchdowns against Georgia. Like that's huge. That is huge.
Well, and what 3 of them were to one of his receivers, right? 3 touchdowns were caught by whoever that kid was that had like 160 yards or something.
Yeah, it was Brazil.
Something the third. Yeah.
He had 6 receptions, 177 yards, 3 touchdowns. Talk about having a good day at wideout.
Good. I mean, also good for Heupel. Heupel's got this thing rolling in Tennessee. Like, he's a solidified top 10 coach in the country, probably top 5 coach in the conference. Like, Heupel's brought this program back to being nationally relevant. Like, they feel like they've got staying power. Like, they're still in the mix. It feels like they're going to win 9 to 10 games every year. I was thoroughly impressed with Tennessee. Georgia impressed me. We could talk about it, but like, as Kirby cements himself yet again as the best coach in the country and goes like, hold up. The guy who 3 or 4 years ago was in that mix to be the best once Saban retired is falling off a cliff, and his program's dead and he's horrible. Is Dabo Swinney. Clemson's got 2 losses in September. They're 1-2 for the first time in 11 years.
Under 500 for the first time in 11 years.
Crazy, dude. It's nuts. Like, it's unbelievable what's going, like how some things stay the same, and then like Clemson, like Tyler from Spartanburg's kicking. I mean, he's putting holes in the wall right now.
Speaking of Tennessee success and Aguilar success, let's touch on UCLA. Just fired their head coach.
Yeah, what a dumpster fire over there.
Like,
dude, that place. You talk about the grass isn't greener, bro. I'm telling you, if I'm Nico, I am leaving. I mean, there's no way I'm staying. Like,
where's he gonna go? He's already.
It don't matter anywhere, dude. You just go retire. You're wasting your time. Like, this is terrible. Josh Pate posted a picture of during the game, and there's like 20 people in the stands. And he said when he becomes commissioner of college football, he's going to find out who these like 25 people are at this game and give them all free tickets for life because they deserve it.
They got boat raced. I mean, they got throttled. One, the hire of Deshaun Foster was a horrific hire up front. And everybody who I didn't know anything about him really, but everybody who I trust in the space was like, this guy, he is not a Power 4 coach. And I remember days when UCLA was pretty solid. And I'm not. This is not me referencing when they beat LSU. I'm talking like in the early 2000s. Like I remember them beating USC, like having formidable teams, and like they are dog shit. And Nico, how did Tennessee win in that trade? They didn't even want to get rid of Nico. He just was like, I want money. And they were like, I think it says a lot about Heupel going like, brother, I know who you are. I ain't giving you more money.
Well, yeah, what's crazy too. Yeah, what's crazy too is when it all happened. Like you talked about Josh Heupel earlier, who I don't like. I'm on record saying I don't like him, but he was just kind of like the way I understand it from social media and reading on forums and stuff is Nico went and meet with the coaches and was like, hey, like I'm not like practicing until I get a new contract, basically. And Josh Heupel immediately was just kind of like, okay, bye. Like, see ya.
They don't practice. I don't know.
Best of luck. So I kind of go hats off to him for that, dude, because nothing gets me more fired up than one of these kids thinking that they're bigger than the university and just being like, I'm not practicing. And the coach is like, see ya.
I just envision Heupel, like, when he walks out of the office, Heupel, like, looking at his assistant, and he's like, this fucking bum wants a raise? I just envision it being like, did he just do that? Like, see you, bud.
One of the interns like walks in and was like, yeah, Nico said he's not practicing, by the way, but he just wanted me to tell you that. And he's like, well, you could tell him to kick rocks and you're fired too.
Yeah, good, man. I don't know. Like, I just envisioned immediately he's just like, still love this fucking guy.
Oh, man. That is brutal. That is brutal.
Hey, I mean, talk about his excuses for leaving were they're not giving me the right offensive line, they're not protecting me, they're not giving me the weapons I need to succeed, so that's why I'm leaving. Look what they're doing now with the quarterback they got after you left. Look at that quarterback's doing, and your team is firing their head coach.
Heupel's literally the offense Heupel runs is like a quarterback's dream. Every quarterback that plays there puts up numbers and has good years. And I don't think a lot of them have been good quarterbacks. I think Heupel's just got a system where, like, if you're willing to throw it,
yeah. And this is the thing, Josh Heupel's infamous for if he's up by like 10 points, he's throwing all goes every play. Yeah, he's sending somebody deep every play. He's thinking and look, I truly think he tells the quarterback, like, look, you're gonna have this guy on the drag open. Don't worry about that. Look for the go. Look for the double move. He's gonna be like, look, over the top.
Yeah, I just envision he's like, hey, Joey, let that motherfucker eat, dog.
He puts up a sign just says air it out.
Yeah. That's when they're doing this, he's just going.
Oh man.
All right, let's keep it rolling. All right, we'll touch on Texas next. Texas wins 27-10. Offense was nowhere to be found until Arch started running around. Defense played lights out. They forced 2 more turnovers. Which is a fun fact. Texas leads all FBS schools with 38 total interceptions or turnovers in the past, 19 games straight. So they have a 19 game.
Whoa.
I thought you were saying this season.
No. This is
that's the way that ain't real.
No, they force a turnover in 19 straight home games. It's the longest streak in FBS history. They had 2 more.
Pete was saying
Saturday,
his stats from his road to glory. It's all right.
Yeah, 38. Me and Cole both went.
Dude, I was like, there's no way he thinks we're not going to call him out on this.
That shows that y'all are listening. I said they added 2 more to their already
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
exactly.
funny.
But outside of that, I mean, the offense did not look good whatsoever. Arch threw a pick, threw a touchdown, ran for 2 touchdowns. Um, the best thing to look at of the offense was James Simon, a little freshman. He had 67 yards on the ground. He looked like somebody that actually wanted to run the ball pretty good. Gibson looked good as well. He had 64 on the ground, but outside of that, man, it was not a fun game to watch offensively. They just couldn't get anything done. Um, but with this elite defense, they're gonna have to figure it out because the defense is gonna keep them in games. The defense is gonna force turnovers like they've been doing, and they're gonna keep it close. I mean, this is another game where they didn't allow 100 yards. They only gave up 50 yards on the ground. Um, they're just unbelievably good on defense. Offensive wise, there's a million questions. A million questions. I mean, you can't go 11 for 25, 114 yards against UTEP. I guess inexcusable in my book. So they got to figure that out. We'll see how that goes. Outside of the defense, I wasn't really happy with the game whatsoever. I didn't see anything that kind of stood out and looked good besides when Arch would pull it and run it. He seemed most comfortable whenever he would pull the ball and run around. So I think they need to do that more. Um, but we'll see how it plays out. I mean, we got one more cupcake and then we got Florida. We'll see how it goes.
So
How'd y'all feel about it?
Yeah, yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm concerned with Arch. I'll say it. I know it's week 3. I know it's early. But 11 for 25, 114. That's a bad stat line, man. Obviously, Texas goes on to win the game. That defense is elite. I'm not even gonna talk about the defense. I'll save us all time because the defense is elite. There's no way around that. Um, it's like more looking uncomfortable. It's more not hitting what I would think are easy throws for a player of that caliber. Um, Throws that I think most college quarterbacks would hit. It's a lot of this sidearm shit that I don't know where that came from. He didn't do that in high school when I covered him in high school. I don't know if he did it last year at Texas. I have no idea.
He did not.
But I think I think at some point you gotta either switch up your offensive scheme a little bit. You got to figure out a way to get the running game going early in games, or you got to figure out a way to get like just the most simplest passes completed early just to get some momentum going. I do agree. I think as he ran around, he looked more comfortable, but that also could be like just breakdowns in coverage, right? Like there's no way of knowing. I mean that's all fluid. It's all happening at one time. Um, I don't know, man. I think at some point, and so y'all got one more cupcake, right? Before Florida. So,
Yeah.
man, so at some point, I think you have to really start Sark's going to have to really start looking like, okay, like what do I need to change? Obviously, you're not benching Arch. That's not happening. I'm not suggesting that. I don't want anybody to think I'm suggesting that, but I think at some point you have to start looking at your play call and figuring out a way to just simplify it some kind of way, get people in more space. And look, I also thought about this weekend. Could it be that Texas maybe just doesn't have dudes at receiver this year? Maybe they just don't have guys getting enough separation. Maybe they don't have that big, Gunnar Helm target, the Matthew Golden target. I know Parker Livingston is really good, but it seems like a lot of the plays he's shining on are like, big routes, deep routes, beating people deep, which obviously that's not always going to be the case. So yeah, man, look, if I'm a Texas fan, I mean, no shade, but I'd be kind of concerned with what I saw so far. And as a football fan, I am surprised with what I've seen so far from Arch.
I'm just gonna. I think his shoulders hurt. Like if it looks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, like there's clearly videos of him wincing seriously. All the talk is like his mechanics are different. He's got a different throwing motion. There's a ton of videos of him underthrowing guys. He's like a half tick off on every throw, it feels like. Like I know Sark had the weird deal where he talked about the bathroom and like I think his shoulders hurt. And I know Sark's never gonna admit it, but like everything points to that he's got something wrong with his arm. Right? Like, and I know like they're never going to get that report. We'll never get confirmation. We won't get confirmation on that until March of next year, February or March of next year. Sark's not going to say anything. He didn't say anything about Quinn. But like, that's the only answer I can think of because I get players getting hyped, but like, You're telling me not just us, but essentially every human being in the world that talks about college football got it wrong? Like, got it this wrong? Because objectively, he's been bad. Like, he's not been good. So I don't believe that we all got it wrong. I think he's hurt. Like, I watched the throw again where he's wincing, and then I started looking at it and going, all the talk is, well, his arm angle's different. It's sidearm stuff. It's weird. It's like there's not a lot of juice. I think his shoulder's hurt, and that's kind of where I'm leaning on this. Like, it just feels too obvious not said.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely get behind that, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's something I didn't think about that. The way Sark answered, it seemed like a quick, like, okay, I'm just gonna distract everybody from this actual question. Like I don't film you in the bathroom. It's like
it was weird.
I asked about his shoulder.
It was weird the way he answered
it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man.
100%. How'd you feel about it, Bo?
Again, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Arch looks rough in the offense. I do think they maybe need to start running. And I don't even want to fucking credit Den Brock because he's an idiot. But I mean, maybe running some more like screen, like option plays for him. Because that's really like what he looks comfortable in, and pulling the ball and trying to create on his feet. And again, and I've seen multiple people on social media post about this, but like when he's throwing that weird sidearm crap, he's wincing about every third or fourth time they can catch his face. So, I mean, does he have a tweak in his shoulder? Like, and he's trying to huck it, Patrick Mahomes style sidearm 20 yards down the field and, thread a needle. It's like, I mean, get the kid evaluated, if nothing else. I mean, your guys' defense obviously can stand on its own, and it's not like you guys don't have a backup that could come in for him for 2 or 3 weeks, so you're not ruining the rest of the kid's career if that is what the issue is and he is hurt. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just, the offense looks bad. I mean, they just look, they look rough. There's not really, a dominant guy that you can really look towards outside of Livingstone, and that's really, really about it from what I've seen the last couple weeks. And I think that can also attest to not maybe having a running game where you guys had Jaden Blue last year and who was it, Wisner?
Wisner.
Yeah.
Wisner's currently hurt.
Baxter Baxter got hurt.
Yeah, Baxter left after the second play of the game on a big run that he had. So that's got to get fixed. They got to figure out what they're doing there. I don't know if Baxter will be back this week. I don't know if either one of them will be back, but they need to figure it out because if Arch is having this many struggles, then they're going to have to lean on that run game. And Sark was attempting to lean on the run game a lot with Gibson, and it wasn't getting anything. And then when Simon came in, he started to get a little more action. So it looked good coming out of him, but something's got to get fixed. We'll see. We'll see if the game plan changes. We'll see if any news comes out. If they do release something being wrong with Arch's shoulder or what, which I doubt they do. So we'll see how it plays out. Moving on. Let's talk about LSU. LSU pulls off another one. We'll let you start it off, Buddha.
Yeah, I'm 3-0. So just remember, I'm 3-0. Just. There's a lot of people in Baton Rouge right now or in the LSU world who don't seem to comprehend that LSU is 3-0. That O for people means we have not lost yet. A lot of LSU fans seem to act like we have lost games. It's crazy. Drives me nuts. I had a rant about it on Twitter this morning. Like, can we just enjoy a goddamn win one time, please? Right? Like, can we just enjoy games? Like, we beat Florida, who's a big rival. Can we just enjoy it? Now, I will say this. Texas and LSU have a lot of similarities right now. LSU defense is legit. They fly around the field. They're opportunistic. Like, they stop the run. They make it hell for opposing quarterbacks. I thought Lagway looked like dog shit. LSU's got issues moving the ball, though, on offense. I'm not going to shy away from it, right? They do. They have issues moving the ball. The total yardage numbers have been pretty solid in all 3 games, but it's not translating to points. Nuss threw for like 220. Right, but it's not translating to points. He did have a bad Nuss moment where he threw across his body. Just a dumb, was like, yep, that's the problem that Nuss has. And I thought we had gotten away from it because he hadn't done anything remotely similar to it to that point. So hopefully it's an outlier and hopefully he learns from it and they go like, quit pressing. LSU's run game right now, it just feels like it's trying to be cute, because when they did have success at the end of the game, they lined up in I formation and just ran it straight to Florida and then had success. So I think some of it can be fixed. I did think that at times LSU's offense did look like it had kind of gotten its footing when they went a little tempo. Aaron Anderson's still a stud. Nuss's best pass, it's in between the hashes. He throws the ball over the middle better than maybe anybody in America. And for some reason, they keep wanting to make him throw out routes and long developing stuff way down the field, where his money range is like 12 to 18 yards in between the hashes. That's where he's good. And the run game's a little cute. Again, similar like you talked about with Texas, though. I think LSU's defense is going to keep LSU in every single game they play. The offense, it's going to progress, in my opinion. Like, we've seen Nuss have really good games. Joe Sloan is been horrible to this point, right? Like, I'm going to say Joe Sloan's been bad. The play calling feels like it has no rhythm. But ultimately, I'm 3-0. I beat Florida I covered according to Vegas. I don't have a loss. It's a rival. Florida still has a lot of dudes on that team. There's a lot of NFL players. I figured, I said it on our lives before the game, like Florida was going to come out like a bat out of hell, right? But how many times could that Florida team get off the mat? And they rolled over in the second half. LSU, once Deshaun Spears had the pick six, that game was over. The nail was in the coffin, and that was just a watch the clock tick out from there. I'm excited about LSU moving forward. We got Southeastern coming up this week, so you're going to be 4-0, heading to Ole Miss, and then a bye week after that. So real world, LSU can get to the bye week at 5-0, which super win in my world. And also watching LSU have a defense just feels so right in my soul. Also, LSU's defense was the leading receiver for LSU. 5 picks. The next leading receiver was Aaron Anderson with 4 catches. LSU's defense led the team in receptions. Shout out DJ Lagway, bum, Billy Napier, dead, gone. Coaching career is over. Might coach again at Troy or something. I don't know. Troy almost beat Clemson, so I don't think he can get that job.
Billy Napier to UCLA?
Could be.
That's like pissing on dog shit.
Might happen. Might happen. So I know everyone saw the video. Everyone saw the criticism. Buddha talked about it a little bit about the reporter and Brian Kelly going at it. Brian Kelly getting so angry over it was kind of comical to me. I thought it was funny. But I mean, it is what it is when I guess the reporters are asking questions that he don't want to answer when it comes to the run game at LSU this year, because it hasn't been what it's normally supposed to be. Outside of that 51-yard run, nobody had any yards. Durham had, I think, 40 something yards before that breakout run. Which was, like you said, in a late point in the game when they just line up in the I formation, which if something like that works, why wouldn't you be doing it more often than not? I don't get it.
Yeah. I will say,
how'd you feel about it, Cole?
I'll touch on the reporter thing real quick. It's going to be a big story. I don't have an issue with it. I do know this. Caldwell, who asked the question, is kind of notorious for, like, LSU shut a team out last year, and his first question to the presser was like, what's wrong with the secondary? And it's like, dude, like, he's kind of notorious for it. I get it. It's one of these deals, like, it seems to be down the middle where, like, people are like, I get what Kelly's doing, like, no issues. And a lot of people are like, this is out of line. I don't really care. I thought it was funny. I actually enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite press conferences Kelly's had. He really showed, like, I guess some of the fire that, like, he had at Notre Dame when he was old red-faced Kelly, like, right? Like, I enjoyed that. It reminded me of a Kim Mulkey presser. Kim Mulkey does that shit all the time in press conferences. And again, it's like everything. Win games, and nobody's going to talk about it. Go beat Ole Miss in 2 weeks. Nobody will even remember it. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'll touch on that first, and I'll talk about the game. No, I don't think that's I think it's a bad look, personally. I think it shows this attitude of like, oh, well, I'm not going to talk about anything bad. We just won the game, so I only want to talk about the good stuff. That's what it comes across as to me. I think it was a very fair question of, what are the struggles in the run game? What are the struggles with the offense? I think everyone would agree that the offense didn't look great most of the game.
Sure.
The run game didn't look great most of the game. I think he just doesn't want to talk about anything bad. I think maybe that's just his attitude. Maybe that's just his coaching style. I have no idea. End of the day, LSU won by 10 points. There's no taking that away. But if we're addressing like his attitude and the way he handled it, I disagree with it. I said that in the group chat earlier. I'm gonna say it on here. I get what you're saying with like it's kind of a Kim Mulkey thing, but I think it's a little more than that. Brian Kelly's notorious for having like bad attitudes when stuff doesn't go exactly how he wants it. He was like that in Notre Dame. He was like that when they lost week 1 last year, and he's banging on the table, blaming everybody but himself. So it's it is what it is. LSU won the game. I mean, I don't want to sit here and waste too much time on this. If y'all have anything else to say, I mean, y'all go ahead on that. But I do want to talk about the game though.
I just want to acknowledge the challenges of your favorite team having the most unlikable coach in America at the helm. Like I'm not naive to know that like Brian Kelly is he's one of the easiest guys in the world to hate. Right? Like, and he does a lot of it. He inserts foot and mouth a lot. I get it. I'm 3-0. He's my head coach. I love it. If we lose to fucking Ole Miss, you better guarantee I'm flipping on it and I'm fucking coming back at his ass. But right now I'm 3-0. I'm 3-0. He's my head ball coach. I'm good to go with it. Tell Michael Caldwell to shut the fuck up. Let's talk about winning, bitch.
Oh man! So here's a question that I'll go to before I let you finish, Cole. Just just to poke at the bear a little bit more. So who had the fake accent first, Brian Kelly or you?
What year did he get here? Also, I will say this about the family thing. I to this day cannot hear the accent. Like I think I have something wrong in my head. I can't hear it.
You can't hear whose accent?
When Kelly, the whole like family, I don't hear him do that. And I've watched that clip 1,000.
Oh, look, he's a weird dude. I don't like him, so I think he's a scumbag.
No, I get, so I
don't care about it. I don't care about his accent, to be quite honest. I don't care about anything he does. If he beats Bama by 50, I still won't care about anything he does. But
my coach could be Billy. That's all I'm saying.
It could be. It could be. You know,
your man, who's also unlikable and bad.
Very true. All right. So the game. Well, look, I'm gonna say something about the offense. So I don't want like BK to pop up in Buddha's screen here and start yelling at me and be like, "You're spoiled. You're spoiled." Like, shut up, dog. Oh no, man. Look, LSU's defense is legit. I think we would all agree Lagway is not who we all thought he could be. I know Pete was against him early in the year. I think the rest of us kind of thought he had a pretty high ceiling. I was one of them. I had him in my top 7 for Heisman, maybe top 5. I really don't remember. But nonetheless, I mean, you get 5 interceptions. You can't just sit there and be like, Lagway's ass. Yeah, there's a little more to it, though. I think Blake Baker's got a really good scheme. I think he puts guys in the right spot to make plays. Harold Perkins continues to look like the best player in the country on defense, period.
A freak.
LSU's defense, I don't have a lot on them because they're just good. I mean, they're good. The only thing I would say that maybe if I'm a fan, I'm like, don't want to see that is the busted play that got called back when Lagway scrambled around and just heaves it, and the dude's like nobody within 20 yards. But that's just one of those weird plays, Luckily, it worked out on that end. Now, offensively, I think there's some issues. Nussmeier's kind of like Archie's missing throws. I just don't expect him to miss. I agree when he throws it across the middle, that is his best ball, period. If I was LSU, I think y'all in one drive, y'all ran 3 slants. All 3 of them went for a first down plus. I would have done it until they stopped it because I don't think they could have stopped it. Like, I don't think they could have stopped it. I don't think anybody can cover Aaron Anderson on a quick slant. Actually, matter of fact, they tried to later in the game, and he did an in-out route, and he was wide open because the corner was like 3 yards inside of him because he knew he was going to try to run a quick slant. So he takes a slant and cuts out, and he's wide open for another 15-yard gain, 10-yard gain, whatever it was. Look, I think if Nuss figures it out, I think LSU can be the best, if not, probably the best team in the country. I mean, there's really no way to argue it at this point. I think Nuss will get it going as the year gets going longer. I think Joe Sloan, once he finds a rhythm of play calling, it'll make a whole lot of difference because, like I said, or like you said earlier, the play calling just has no rhythm to it. It's no rhyme or reason. It's just kind of like he's looking at a sheet and he's just like, this one.
That's what he's doing.
This one, and it's kind of crazy to me. The Nuss interception was one of those Nuss moments that we saw a few times last year, and we were all kind of sitting here like, what? That to me is eye opening because you would think coming back this year you would almost see none of those moments because he didn't have to do that because first of all I think I'm pretty sure it was third down. It was going to be for a gain of 1. The dude was covered. So like why even do it? Like why not just float it out of bounds? For Christ's sake, take the sack if you want to. There's so many things that could have went different there. But look, end of the day, LSU's 3-0. They won by 10. Let's not sit here and question the offense because how dare us point out something that was negative. But that's my take. Proceed.
How'd you feel about it, Bo?
I mean, not anything that we haven't touched on, the last 2 weeks. LSU looks great. It's a great time in college football. It's great to see that LSU actually has a great defense kind of look behind. I really don't have too much in this game. I would like to kind of touch on, I know the last 2 weeks, offensively, they have looked a little rough. I don't know whether that might be.
You're spoiled.
Yeah, I'm spoiled and I
Is what we're
suck.
doing?
Now one thing, what was it? Maybe missing like Trey'Dez Green this week that maybe threw Nuss off a little bit. Like I'm not sure having that big ass target to throw to downfield. I mean, because I know the previous week he only had like 2 catches, but I don't know because ever since Clemson game week 1, it's been. Obviously they've been smoking teams, but I'm not going to dog the offense. They've been winning games by pretty decent margin, but still, it hasn't looked this dominant offense, I guess, that we're thinking that they should be, considering the weapons, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all our games that we got, but I do want to touch on one more before we get out of here. You already know where it's going, Bo. Cole, you're shaking your head.
Pro quarterback.
This is the dumbest shit. Why are we doing this? Why
do you get mad that Peso Pavia did what you said he wasn't going to do yet again?
Well, for one, the North Sellers died in the first quarter, so
whose fault is
game
that?
is null and void.
How is null and void because Peso put up 31 on a team? You said he was getting belt to ass. Lenore Sellers was going to show him what was up, and Lenore Sellers left early. He's like, I'm just going to go home.
He died. It's not my fault he got killed.
He literally got killed on the field.
Shots. Yeah, he's still laying there.
South Carolina.
Actually, can we talk about all the targeting calls this weekend in crucial games where players got thrown out? Whit Weeks, the fucking linebacker from Notre Dame, getting fucking bailed out. Like he got hucked in the third quarter.
I don't give a fuck. Stop cheating.
Stop cheating.
Targeting. I wish we could add like a tiered system to it where it's like this one's like a warning, this one's a 15-yarder, and this one's a throw out. Like, because clearly sometimes guys get tossed and you're like, I get he probably committed the penalty, but like, he didn't spit on somebody.
This is my problem with targeting, man. And like, first of all, like refs suck, period.
Oh, they're the worst.
Like they always they take the fun out of everything. Targeting is become the most subjective call in all of sports. It's like they go and look, they're like, all right, does he do this, this, and this? And everyone sitting at home is like, no. And the refs come out and be like, targeting, yep. See ya. Every time it surprises me. Like I don't think I've been right about a targeting call ever in my life.
What I think we should do is there should be a random woman who does not like football, does not watch football, that they do all their stuff, and then they turn it to her and go, did this look mean? And if she says no, it's not targeted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get by the letter of the law, Whit Weeks had a helmet to a face mask. If you show that to somebody goes, does this look mean? They'd have been like, what am I looking at? Which one? Which guy? Right? That shouldn't get thrown out. That should be the new way to do this. Is like you add a lady in there.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all we got this week. Unless you got anything else you want to jump on before we get out of here.
I have one thing to say. Ryan Williams in one game has more receiving yards and more catches and more touchdowns than Cam Coleman, who's supposed to be the gift from God in Auburn. Roll Tide.
Yeah. South Carolina blows dick. I said
they do. They're terrible.
They were going to be the biggest disappointment team in the SEC. I don't know. Shane Beamer gets so much credit for almost beating teams and winning a couple games a year. It's unbelievable. Clemson, I mean, it's just not good football happening in the state of South Carolina right now. Just a lot of bad shit happening over there. I don't feel bad for them. I hope they lose every game they play, both of them. But South Carolina's they're horrible.
All right, that's it. That's all we got for y'all this week. We'll see y'all on Friday for the live as usual. And that's it. As always, y'all have a good one. Hook 'em.
Fuck
Roll
Mike
Tide.
Denbrock.
First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. Y'all better listen up. This sports talking tough. So if you got a cup, go on and raise it up. I'll raise one with you as we talk about the sports. It's raining stats and rumors. Let us give you the report. This is First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. First 12 ounces.